In the heart of a sun-drenched meadow, a young grasshopper named Pip lived a life measured in leaps. But Pip wasn't like the others. While they were content munching on clover and singing lazy afternoon songs, Pip dreamed of the sky. He'd watch the dragonflies, those jeweled acrobats, and his heart would ache with a strange longing. He didn't just want to jump, he wanted to fly. His obsession was a peculiar leaf, a relic from the giant oak at the edge of the meadow. It was larger, stiffer, and shaped almost like a wing. He'd found it after a great storm, and he knew, with a certainty that hummed in his antennae, that this was his ticket to the clouds. Every morning, while the dew still clung to the world, Pip would practice. He'd climb the tallest blades of grass, the leaf clutched tightly in his forelegs, and leap. He'd angle it, twist it, trying to catch the wind just right. The other grasshoppers would jeer. "Look at Pip, the puzzit," they'd chirp. "He thinks he's a bird." An old, grizzled grasshopper named Crag, a respected elder with a chipped leg, would often shake his head. "The ground is our home, little one," Crag would say, his voice a low rasp. "The sky has teeth. Stick to what you know." But Pip couldn't. The pull of the sky was stronger than any warning. One afternoon, Pip's leap was different. A sudden gust of wind, a whisper of a storm to come, caught his leaf wing perfectly. For a breathtaking moment, he didn't just fall. He glided. It was only a few feet, a clumsy, wobbling arc. But it was more than a jump, it was flight. His heart hammered against his exoskeleton, a drumbeat of pure exhilaration. Head done, Italiano. He landed, tumbling head over heels in a patch of dandelions, laughing. Luke, up, his eyes wide with triumph, ready to show everyone. But no one was watching. The other grasshoppers were all facing the other way, their antennae twitching with alarm. A shadow had fallen over the meadow, a cold, sharp darkness that didn't belong to a cloud. Pip followed their gaze, and his laughter died in his throat. Perched on a high branch of the old oak was a shrike, the dreaded butcher bird, its eyes like polished jet beads, its hooked beak a promise of doom. The meadow, once a chorus of chirps, fell into a terrified silence. The shrike was a patient hunter, and its presence paralyzed them all with a primal fear. Crag hobbled over to Pip, his usual gruffness replaced by a grim urgency. "Stay low," he rasped. "Don't move. Don't even breathe." But Pip saw something else. He saw the wind, the same wind that had given him his first taste of flight, now rustling the leaves of the oak tree. He saw the shrike, poised and focused, and he saw the entire colony, frozen, waiting for the inevitable. The fear was a cold stone in his gut, but something else was rising alongside it. An idea, reckless and wild. He looked at his leaf, he looked at the sky. He couldn't just wait. Ignoring Crag's desperate whisper, Pip took a deep breath and began to climb. He chose the tallest, most exposed stalk of ryegrass he could find, his leaf held ready. The other grasshoppers watched in stunned disbelief. "What is he doing?" they buzzed. "He's offering himself up." The shrike's head swiveled, its gaze locking onto the lone, ascending green speck. It tilted its head, intrigued by this foolishly brave morsel. Pip reached the very top of the stalk, the world swaying beneath him. The bird was now his only audience. This was Italiano. With a powerful kick of his hind legs, Pip launched himself into the air, directly toward the predator. It was a suicidal leap, and a gasp rippled through the meadow below. Bat à siffler. He angled his leaf. The wind caught it, stronger now, and he wasn't just falling, he was steering. He swooped. Not at the shrike's body, but just past its head. The stiff edge of his leaf scraped against the bird's eye with a dry, rustling sound. It wasn't an attack that could wound, but it was a surprise, an annoyance, an insult. The shrike let out a squawk of indignation, shaking its head, momentarily disoriented by the bizarre, flying leaf bug. Pip didn't stop. He used his momentum to circle around, his heart a frantic drum. It was flying. He was really flying. He felt the air currents, learned them in seconds, his instincts screaming to life. He swooped again, this time from the other side, aiming for the bird's extended wing. The shrike, now thoroughly irritated, snapped its beak at the air where Pip had been a second before. The click of its beak echoed across the silent field. This tiny green nuisance was making it look foolish. The dance began. Pip was a whirlwind of green, a buzzing, unpredictable gnat. He was too small to be a meal, but too annoying to be ignored. He'd dive, skim, and rise, using his leaf wing with a skill born of desperation and dreams. The shrike, a creature of power and deadly precision, was thrown into a clumsy rage. It lunged, it snapped, it flapped its mighty wings, but it was like trying to catch a sunbeam. The entire meadow watched, transfixed. The fear that had paralyzed them was slowly being replaced by awe. They weren't just watching Pip the Puzzled. They were watching a hero. Enraged, the shrike decided to end the game. With a powerful beat of its wings, it launched itself from the branch, not at Pip, but at the cowering grasshoppers on the ground. It was a move of pure spite. No! The cry was torn from Pip's throat. He put everything he had into one final, desperate dive. He aimed straight for the bird's back, folding his leaf slightly to gain speed. He was a tiny green missile. He struck the shrike between its shoulder blades. The impact was jarring, sending a shock through his entire body. To the massive bird, it was little more than a poke, but it came from above, from a blind spot, and it was the final indignity. With a furious, frustrated shriek that echoed through the valley, the butcher bird abandoned its hunt. It wasn't worth the trouble. Itsuare the Hawaii, leaving the meadow in a stunned, ringing silence. Pip tumbled from the air, his leaf wing torn, his body bruised. He landed softly in a bed of clover, exhausted but alive. A cheer erupted from the meadow. It started as a single chirp, then another, and then it swelled into a deafening chorus of joyous sound. The grasshoppers swarmed him, touching his torn leaf with reverence. Crag hobbled forward, his old eyes gleaming with a new light. "The sky has teeth," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "But you, Pip," you gave it a bite back. From that day on, no one called him Pip the Puzzled. They called him Pip. He never flew quite as high or as recklessly as he did that day, but he didn't need to. He taught the young ones how to find the right leaves, how to feel the wind, how to turn a simple jump into a hopeful glide. He taught them that the ground was their home, yes, but the sky wasn't just something to fear. It was something to reach for. And every evening, as the sun set, casting long shadows across the meadow, you could see dozens of little grasshoppers climbing the tallest blades of grass, holding their own makeshift wings, leaping into the golden light. Not just jumping, but dreaming. Thanks for watching.